What's up, guys? Welcome to tonight's stream. Hopefully y'all is having a good night. I didn't even press it. I don't know why I be doing that. I gotta make sure and check Instagram makes a post. I sat there and was trying to make a post earlier and it was like, I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Okay. We solid. Oh, okay, I see what that is now. So it ain't even like really a season. I thought this was like a season pass of some sorts. Now it's like it's just a level thing. Okay. Get some solid rewards. Now, you really gotta be playing the game to get off up in these yeah. Dang, bruh. How long do you have to play a game to like that's a lot. That's crazy. Like you've had to been playing the game since it came out. What's up, Suki? Let's see. Yeah, let's try to knock this race out. Damn, that rumble is crazy. I think it has to. Yeah, it's definitely these headsets. These headsets sound so much better than the ones that broke. I'm like, man, I'll never buy another headset from Rig again. It was like a waste of money.
Hey, careful entering the forest. It's a double apex turn. I know you can make it through in one single drift.
I don't know why every time when I start this game up, it's like down both Xbox and PlayStation. They always switch the camera to where it's like all close up on the car, and it's like, bruh, I'm not trying to see my character, so I'm just trying to just see like everything. But it's like you have it where the camera is that close. I'm like, bro, it's. I just feel like it ain't that much of a difference, but for me, it's a difference. I don't know why Ubisoft is like that. Like they just mess up your settings. It's even like down the Division, where it's like you can put your sensitivity up all the way to the highest, come back like after a week or so, or maybe even less, and then switched it back to like a lower settings. I'm like, why you guys go through my settings and mess with it? Just leave it alone. It don't make sense to be doing stuff like that. It's like, what kind of glitches do you guys got where it gotta do some stuff like that? is that TO person even driving? I'm like, bro, it just look like they stopped at a red light. I'm like, fam, this is a race.
You handle this car well. A real steady hand.
Don't lose your cool, but you just hit number 2 on the list. That means you can finally take on Tio and prove once and for all who's the best racer on the street.
I know if I that hypercar, the one that I want to get, it's like 1.2 or 7 million. It's some price, and I'm like, bro, why stuff got to be expensive? What kind of car is it? Corvette bundle. You can't even. That's crazy. All right, well. Oh, it's only 1 point. But dang, bruh. That's a while from now. I ain't gonna be able to. Dang, man. Like, can you guys at least, like, let me make payments or something on it? I should be able to make payments. They're like, I mean, it's a car game. They should have it where you should be able to do some stuff like that. Like, you get the car, but then it takes, like, a percentage of, like, your earnings for when you do a race so you can, like, pay the car off. What's up, Illy? That would be a dope idea. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's weird how, like, card games, it's like they don't, it ain't like based off of real life stuff. I'm saying, like, it would be easier to do stuff in, like, in racing games if they were to do some stuff. What game did that? Oh no, it was Grid. Grid Legends kind of did something along those lines. That was close. I honestly almost didn't make it on that last one. I played Grid. Yeah, Grid's cool. 2 was alright. And Grid, because they came out with like one back in 2019, I think. And it was like the same thing as Grid Legends. Grid Legends, I had to say, actually had more content. It had like a whole story mode. They did come out with one called Autosport, but it was alright. I like my race games to have some kind of story added to it. Yeah, Legends, Grid Legends, they had a story. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and Need for Speed, they got story modes. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there ain't too many racing games out. They'll kind of have like that generic story where it's all like, you know, you just meeting random people, but oh, and the first Crew game, it had a story mode to it. Of this, there's like the first one had a story mode. That was about it. This one was more so like if a content creator got into racing. Nope, I ain't making that. I almost did a backflip. I can do a backflip here. Yep. I don't know why I'm still trying to get points. I'm like, I already got the objective. I like Need for Speed Most Wanted. I played it on PSP. I never did get a chance. Not the OG Most Wanted. I think I played it maybe over at my uncle's place years ago. I remember playing some Need for Speed game of his. It might have been Most Wanted, but to own it, no. They came out with like a newer one in 2012, I think. That was only like Most Wanted I had played, but not like the OG of Most Wanted. It's PSP, PSV today. It's gonna be the. Oh, I know. I don't know why they gave up on that. Now they did one where it's like, it kind of is that, but you have to have a PlayStation 5 in order to like play games and stuff, which is weird because I'm like, most people want to be mobile. I'm not trying to be confined to my house to play games. That's the whole idea of the PSP. It was like, fam, I was going on like family trips and stuff playing it. I don't know why they always put the mods like, that's just a weird place to put them. Yeah, that was just an odd place to put the mods. But yeah, it's like they came out with one and it's like, yeah, you have to have a PlayStation 5 and then you have to play like remote play or whatever they call it. Pretty much like you have to connect the handheld like PSP or whatever they want to call it, PSP 5. And, but yeah, you have to have a PlayStation 5. Can't just be playing games like freely. That's what I thought. I thought when they were coming out with it, I thought it was going to be like a brand new Sony. I'm like, man, you guys be doing some old weird stuff at times. Those are the future. Yeah. Yeah, handheld gaming. I was like, yeah, I remember when I got my first PSP. First game I got was Grand Theft Auto Liberty Cities. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was Grand Theft Auto Liberty Cities. Then I played the SmackDown vs. Raw games on the PSP, and I'm like, that was peak gaming. I'm trying to think what other games I play on the PSP. I remember they came out with that one game, Little Big Planet. That was good. God of War. Missed the Wii Day. Oh, yeah, Wii. Dang, man. That was like, yeah, that was when gaming was like, people was in their bag when it came to gaming. And now it's like, it's just, I don't know where gaming is at. College football games on PSP. I'm trying to think. I think only football game I had on the PSP was Madden NFL 09. I don't think I ever did get. I didn't get the college game. I think until I got my Xbox 360. Yeah, NCAA 12, bro. I was playing that. Like my character, he was at least spending like 50 years in college. I have to say that, in my opinion, that was probably the best game, like, NCAA, just best. No, I take that back. Madden NFL 07 was good. That was a good game. '09 was all right. Well, I never did play it on console. I think it was slightly different from console and PSP, but Madden NFL 07, I was like, I don't think there is no Madden game that can top that. Okay, there we go. I used to love the high school part, career mode, play offense, defense, create my high school. I'm trying to think. It's been years since I played the NCAA games, but they talking about. I remember EA said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna come out with one." They said that like, what is it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I'm like, how you guys gonna say you're gonna come out with something and then just? Oh, we don't remember saying that. I'm like, what's the point? It's like, yeah, gaming, it's kind of has fallen off. I'm like, I don't know what gaming is nowadays. Gaming just seems like it's all about season passes and, and other ways, finding as many ways possible as they can to make money. It's like, I remember back then, yeah, gaming used to be about gaming. Like, we gotta make a game that's gonna sell. Now it's like, well, let's see how much money we can make. Imagine if PSP games, like, if they had season passes. I don't think, if gaming was, like, where it's at today, if that's how gaming was when it originally started, I guarantee and I promise you people wouldn't be playing video games. People would not be playing video games with all the amount of money. People would have gone broke a long time ago. That's eventually what's going to happen. It's like people are just, they're going to be like, nah, games and all that stuff, it's just too expensive.
Unless you want to spin out.
Why is this car still, like, dang, turn? Oh, I don't, I just going to hurry up and get through this race, because I think that's why I was avoiding this, because the last time I did it, it was like the car was not turning for crap. Why they put a Ferrari on ice? I really don't know. Sounds like a horrible Disney play. It's like, Ferrari on ice, coming to a theaters near you. I'm like, I'm not gonna go see that. You can feel like Tom Hanks in the Polar Express trying to control that train. I'm like, bro, why is it so hard to... Dodge Challenger don't carry on like that. This, on the other hand, I'm like, man, you really gotta time it. I'm trying to think of some other good PSP games. I said God of... Yeah, because God of War, I remember they came out with that, like, God of War edition, PSP edition. That game was good. I played that a few times. Vice City Stories, both of the Grand Theft Auto... Well, no, they came out with 3 games, actually. They came out with that one. It was, like, Chinatown Wars. That was... I played it. I thought it was cool. I played and beat it. But, yeah, Vice City Stories would probably be my favorite. It had planes, helicopters, like it was a mobile Grand Theft Auto. Just trying to get season pass route. Makes sense of the games like Fortnite, but why does every game decide? Exactly. And what's crazy, it's like how some games, they charge money for it. It was NCAA football too. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I think I remember playing Madden and that was it, but Yeah, it's like Fortnite is free, so I can understand why they'll have a season pass. They gotta make their money somehow, but at least they give you a game that you can play. All these other games, I'm like, you out here charging people money for some stuff, and then on top of that, I gotta pay for a season pass? Nah, it's like, if it's either you guys need to have it where the whole game is free, and then you pay for the season pass, or the game, like, you pay for it, and you don't have to pay for the season pass. But it's like, you guys can't, you know, you gotta do one or the other, but it's like, you can't have it where it's all like, oh, we're gonna have it where you pay, and you pay for the season pass. Eventually, there's going to probably be some game out there where they're going to be like, oh, you need a subscription service. No, actually, I take that back. There is a game out there. It's iRacing. You need a subscription service to play it. And the only time you see people playing games like that is when they're in like those like competitions where they playing for money. But other than that, you don't see no like casual person playing that game. Not that I know of. I'm like, I like racing games and all, but I'm not going to be paying no subscription service to play it. A subscription service for a video game is crazy. And it's like, that's when you got to ask the developers. When you came up in the world and you played video games, did you have to pay for a subscription service? Like, I get a subscription, like, if you were, like, Blockbusters, for an example, where it's like, you know, you got to pay for the movie, that, or the game, that, okay, I can understand that. What was it, Gamefly? I can understand that. But you guys ain't with that. You guys is just your own game on Steam. And you're charging people, I think it's like $10 a month. I'm like, ain't no game in this world worth playing for no $10 a month. Meanwhile, you got games out there that's free, and you don't have to pay for no subscription service. You can just play the game for free. That's honestly the best route for gaming. Get you a gaming PC and play Fortnite. At least with them, it's like, you know, you ain't got to pay for, like, no Xbox Game Pass, no PlayStation Plus, none of that. Yeah, you're going to have to spend a lot for a gaming PC, but it's worth it.
A race like this is a throwback, a chance to get back to basics. We don't want to get so busy looking to the future that we forget the past. Finding that balance is key.
I think I did this race too, and there's something be wrong with these touring cars. Yeah, I remember this race.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Love working on classic cars like this one. You know why? No computers to get in the way. It's just me and the machine.
I don't know why. It's like they have these sharp turns, and then it's like you trying to, and then they just make it seem like, oh yeah, cars, they could go through turns like that. That's stupid, man. That's seriously stupid. I asked Ubisoft, I'm like, you guys go through a turn where a car can't turn.
Won't be getting any power assist at all, so be ready. Because keeping that beautiful little beast under control is going to take everything you've got.
I win this race. I ain't doing this race no more. I'm like, forget that crap. Like, what car drives like that? Ubisoft, I'm like, man, you guys must not have your driver's license. Y'all just said, hey, let's just go and develop a racing game and do no research about racing. Because what car you know can go through turns like that and not have to slow down? PSP, my sister DS, think of DS. She did. Oh yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch. They all right. I mean, I just wish that the games weren't so expensive. It's like, but at the same time, I mean, you know, there's like subscription service thing. It's pretty cheap. It ain't like how it is with like Xbox and PlayStation, where it's like you're spending over $100 a year to play with their subscription service. Meanwhile, with Nintendo Switch, they got their subscription service. So you can play not all of their retro games, but some of their retro games. And then, and it's only like, I think, $60 a year. So I will say Nintendo, they got their thing going on. It's just their games are expensive. This is so... I swear, Ubisoft, I'm like, man, don't you guys ever come back out with a racing game again, because this is stupid. It's not possible for a car to go through no turn like that. And then have it where it's like, anytime when I try going through a turn, then I can't do it. Yeah, I'm not playing their rigged game no more. It's like Ubisoft, ain't nobody at that headquarters got a driver's license, and yet they out here making racing games as if like, oh yeah, we know what we're doing. I'm just gonna play some on my Xbox. I don't even want to play no more Ubisoft games. I'm just like tired of them. It's like you guys come out with games and you just go completely brain dead. I'm telling you, it's like it's just people out there. Then it's like then you have it where there's people out there where it's like they actually do something with their games, yet they don't see like the potential that they deserve. Because they get freaking blackballed by companies like Ubisoft, EA, and they come out with their quote-unquote simulators. Meanwhile, it's like them games is nothing simulating. It's like ain't nothing simulating about their racing games. I don't know how people, they sit down, they could put hours upon hours into games like that. I'm like, I can only play games like that for a short period of time. Because they always do something stupid. It's just not fun. I don't play Forza. Play a game where it's like cars turn normal. It's like these guys actually consulted with professional racers. They know what they're doing. Ubisoft, on the other hand, it's like I feel like all they do is just watch like highlights of like racing videos on YouTube, and they're like, all right, let's start making a game. Go to a Chevrolet parking or, you know, a dealership. What's this? Yeah, go to a Chevrolet dealership and just, you know, copy and paste the cars. Ford dealership, do that. But are we going to consult with anybody when it comes to racing? Nah. That's not us. We don't do stuff like that. We just wing it and, yeah, just make it seem like it's the best game ever. Have it where our game, you know, some sale happens, put the game out for like $2, and that's how we get our people playing our game. Cool thing about the old NCAA games, Dynasty Mode players could get in trouble. Option to suspend them. Huh, wow. Yeah, it's like, it just seems like gaming back then, like, it actually mattered. Like, they looked for new reasons to do stuff with games. Nowadays, it's like, and that's the crazy thing about it, is that games like that sell. You know, if they were to, like, that's one thing I think that games should do is, or the more so developers and the people behind those games, is that they need to start re-releasing their old games and see how well the sales do with that. Let's say EA re-release, they're all like, oh, we're coming out with an NCAA, like, you know, collection or something like that. Play like the 3 best like NCAA games or whatever, like 10, 11, and 12. Or if they just came out with like NCAA, but it's like it's the same exact stuff from the old games. Like, let's see Call of Duty re-release, or they work on the servers of Black Ops and all the other old Call of Duty games. And it's like they try to push out their new stuff so much, and it's like, fam, it's not fun. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, it is not fun. It's not fun having to spend and I feel like that's another thing where it's like games because I think with EA, it's like they got like their pack openings and stuff, and I think 2K, they got that same crap too, but it's like, bruh, I'd rather just sit down and play the game. I don't mind grinding in the game, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not trying to have it where it's just, it's unwanted stuff. Like, I shouldn't have to buy no season pass or no pack opening or no packs or nothing. It's like, I should just be able to play the game. It feels so real. People get to your college, yeah. Yeah, they just don't make games like how they used to. And then they wonder why their sales isn't doing as good as it was like back then on the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 and 3 and stuff. It's like, you guys ain't making those same games. I wish developers would pay attention to that stuff, but sadly they don't. All they care about is how much money can we make. Like, what content creators can we pay off and make them go on their YouTube channel or their Twitch stream and talk good about our game. Because I already know developers be doing stuff like that. I'm like, 2K or whoever calls me up, talk about, hey, you want to play our game? I'm like, I'm going to play it, but I'm going to be honest with people. And I'm going to let people know it's not good. So, you guys might want to send that to somebody that's, yeah, you know, they're not too, you know, they don't put their opinion out there too much. You know, they just be sitting and playing the game. Because me, I'm going to state my opinion. I'm going to be real with people. I'm going to let people know this game ain't good. Mechanics ain't good. Gameplay, all that stuff online, none of that. Ain't nothing good. I thought I did 3 laps. Oh well, but... yeah, I'm trying to think of some other games from like back then where they were just good back then, but as the time went on, it was like, it just got horrible. Battlefield, I have to say, is on. I think any games from EA from back then all the way up until now, yeah, they're games back then, because even Battlefield, when Battlefield 3 came out, oh my, bruh. Bad Company 2 was already good, but when Battlefield 3 dropped, I was like, that was like peak level of Battlefield. I'm trying to think of some other games. Then you just got some games they just straight up discontinued, like Midnight Club. Like, why would Rockstar discontinue that? Just to have it where you guys release 15,000 updates for Grand Theft Auto 5. What Rockstar should have did was just add servers to the console and just left it alone. But they definitely should have released a Midnight Club game. It's like, what are some other games? it's just they don't make games like how they used to. What is that? I can't see that guy's sponsors. Here, the playing position. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they don't make games like how they used to anymore. EA probably being on top of that list. Grand Theft Auto, I'm like, bruh, I don't know. I think if it wasn't for the role-playing servers, I don't think Grand Theft Auto, they probably would have released 6 a long time ago. They probably would have released 6, the Midnight Club. Red Dead Redemption 2 was alright. I'll say that game was solid. But yeah, they spent way too much time on Grand Theft Auto 5. They should have gave that game like 4 years and left it. Well, technically they did, but then it's like after then they released Red Dead Redemption 2. And then then they just went right back to 5. And I'm like, bro, do you guys not realize that like 5 is old? Like, work on something else. Yeah, it's like they spent way too much time on that game. I don't know why they did, but it's like when 6, I'm like, bruh, the thing is this. Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, they better not do none of those updates that they were doing with 5. They better make them updates make sense, like or not updates, but DLCs, and they better have it where it's like some DLCs like they did for Grand Theft Auto 4. Now that's what they should have been doing. Because the DLCs for Grand Theft Auto 4, I have to say, those were probably the best DLCs ever in the Grand Theft Auto series. But it's like, I remember the first DLC they did for Grand Theft Auto 5, and it was like some bikes, I think. And you got some like beach clothes. I'm like, bro, you dropped the Lost and the Damned and the Ballad, whatever it was called, of Tony. And you guys gonna turn around and for Grand Theft Auto 5 give us some beach clothes as a DLC? I was like, nah, man. That DLC, that's a DLC that I just never will forget. I'm like, what was the reason? It wasn't no new missions. It wasn't. They just added 5 new bikes and some free clothes. Clothes I didn't even wear. Meanwhile, it's like you got the role-playing servers. They could have did that. They could have had it where it's all like, oh, the server update. Or even added like game modes on there where it's all like, oh, the Cops and Robbers DLC. It's like have it where, you know, you and your friends, you can role-play as cops and bad guys and go out and commit crimes and your friends got to chase you down. Now, the heist DLCs, I will say that that was okay. I feel like they redeemed themselves for all their last DLCs, but yeah, they did some DLCs in that game. I was like, I didn't play the game for that reason. Like, I think they came out with a DLC that looked like based off of some stuff like Mad Max. I'm like, yeah, whoever was behind the DLC stuff in Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm like, make sure they don't have no say-so or nothing in Grand Theft Auto 6. Whoever did DLCs in Grand Theft Auto 4, that's who needs to come back. And if it was the same person, I'm like, bro, how did you go from 4 to 5 with the DLCs and it just went downhill? What game was it? Oh, yeah, it was God of War. I need to sit down and play that game so I could get through it, play the second one, because they said they were going to be coming out with a free DLC for the that second one. I mean, GTA 6 will have a hard time trying to top GTA 5 because of online as a whole story mode. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't think that's going to be an issue. After I feel that, me personally, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a very underrated game, and they had a lot of stuff that you can do in there. And I personally think if they do that same stuff, they have that same energy that they have for Red Dead Redemption 2, I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a bigger game than 5. Because 5, it seemed like the heist missions, that was like the last good thing that they did. Other than that, all them other DLCs didn't really matter. And based on how people was tripping off of that trailer, yeah, I personally think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be much, much bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5. And it was even Rockstar themselves. I think Rockstar, if they actually come up with some stuff to make that game good, yeah, I think that it's definitely going to be a bigger game than 5. If they don't make it as a bigger game than 5, the thing that I'm worried about is that they're going to release it and they're still going to be doing updates for Grand Theft Auto 5 and barely going to do anything for Grand Theft Auto 6. And if they do that, I'm probably not even going to fool with that game. Because I'm like, you released 2 games in the past 10 years. Y'all done, well, they not 6 yet, but I'm like, come 2025, I'm like, fam, 12 years, and you guys is still working on a game that y'all released 12 years. I'm like, you guys need to close up shop on that game. Y'all don't have to shut down the servers, but stop doing stuff for it. It's like the game is old. Focus on something else. Dang, come out with a mobile game or something. Oh, and that's probably another thing that the reason why 6 took so long, because they did that remastered trilogy series, and that bombed. So it's like all this stuff they did in the past like 10 years. I'm like, yes, Grand Theft Auto 6 better be good. If not, then I'm like, bro, you guys don't come back out with no more. Don't at least hype up games, making it seem like, oh yeah, we going all out, we doing this, we doing that. They need to do is come out with a Midnight Club. Like, come out. That should be their the next game they should work on. They should definitely, or at least have like a Midnight Club DLC for Grand Theft Auto 6. It's like if they didn't want to make a game, then I'm like, yeah, make a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 6. Like Midnight Club DLC. I think I'm ready. Bruh. And knowing them, they'll come out with Grand Theft Auto 7 and they'll still be focused on Grand Theft Auto 5. Watch, that's what's gonna happen. You know what would be so crazy? If they come out with Grand Theft Auto 6, but it's a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. And you gotta pay for it in order to, and you have to like have Grand Theft Auto 5 to, if they do some stuff like that, I will not play it. I will not play it. I'm not gonna, it needs to be its own separate game. I'm like, I am not downloading Grand Theft Auto 5 again. Only way I'll download that game again is if some friends ask me to play it. Other than that, I have no desires on downloading that game again. If they do some stuff like that, I'm like, Rockstar, don't come back out with no more games. Please don't. They're like, oh, but we're releasing Bully 2, Midnight Club, and all this. I don't care. I honestly do not care. Just don't come out with no more games. They come out with a Grand Theft Auto 6 DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm done. Like, I'm retiring from gaming. I'm gonna just start a family and just live out in the wild somewhere. I'm like, I'm not even gonna be fooling with games no more at that point. I'm just gonna give up on gaming. Do some Bob Ross streams. Get blank canvases and just start painting. Grow my hair out to an afro. Say some peaceful words and just, that's gonna be my streams. Gave up on Bully 2. Got one, no, they probably won't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Especially, I don't know. In this day and age, I feel that that game, it would sell more so because the people that played the original one, but I think people, they wouldn't really know too much about it because it wasn't that big of a game. It was fun though. Bully, I was like, that game was probably wrong. That was like outside the Grand Theft Auto series. That was probably one of Rockstar's best games. If not, it probably was their best game. For a game to have it where you spend like a whole school year, you go through Christmas, you go through Halloween, and then you do all these different missions and side missions. Then they came out with the scholarship edition, and then they added more missions. I was like, yeah, Bully, that was without doubt probably one of the dopest games to ever release. Back then, it was very controversial because of the name. I read up, it was countries almost banned a game based off of the name. It's known for. I don't know why people be always trying to get on games about some stuff. That reminds me of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. The OG Modern Warfare 2, not the new one, but yeah, there was like that no Russian or no Russia mission. You went off up in that airport, and it was like people always be trying to. They even getting on Grand Theft Auto 6, and that game hasn't even came out yet. Talking about, oh, the game isn't meant for kids. Yeah, we know that. But kids are still going to play it. You think a kid going to tell their parent about a game that they shouldn't be playing? No. Plus, if their parents don't really know about games like that, it's like, yeah, their parent, they're going to be sitting down playing that game. Can't stop no kid from playing no game like Grand Theft Auto or Bully or nothing else. See what other games I got. I really don't want to play no Ubisoft. I should play Destiny. Yeah, we're gonna play Destiny. There's no way. Really ban kids from playing games. Yeah, it's like I was playing that game when I was a kid. I was like, what kid wasn't playing Grand Theft Auto games when they were a kid? All kids was playing it. That's how I found out about the game, was kids at my school was talking about it. Bully's raid team, believe. Think the names. People, yeah. I can see how, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, I mean, the game, like, they have it in there, but it ain't like, if you just, I think that's what it is. It's like, if you just sit down and play the game, and that's just talking to people that, like, see an issue with it, then, yeah, then, you know, you'll see that it's like, that ain't really the main thing in the game. Like, it's really just about a kid, you know, having a troubled time in school, and he gotta deal with, bullies. Yeah, they probably could have, called the game, something else, but at the same time, I'm like, bruh, at least for me, because growing up, I just didn't believe in that bullying stuff. I was like, kids tried that with me. They just learned the hard way why it's like, you just need to leave people alone, but yeah, it's like, I didn't trip off of that game. That game didn't have it. If anything, I loved that game. Do I condone bullying? No. But the game, it's the video game? Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, we definitely playing games like that. But yeah, I remember when Grand Theft Auto, I think it was San Andreas. Yeah, I like that. I understand people trip at the same time. Look into it. Exactly. But yeah, it's like, I remember when Grand Theft Auto, I think San Andreas, because they were trying to cancel Grand Theft Auto when San Andreas was coming out. And they was like, oh yeah. I still remember when, like, turned to, like, my parents, they turned on the news because the game, it was blowing up back then. And I remember when San Andreas was coming out, they was like, oh yeah, check out this game that kids play. And they got shooting and violence and all this other stuff. I'm like, fam, my parents, my dad, he would watch me play the game. But my mom, she sat there and played Grand Theft Auto. game until I explained it to her. She thought I was lying at first. She realized it was racing. Yeah, it's like, that game ain't hurting nobody. But yeah, my mom, she was playing games. I remember, I'll never forget when I saw my mom play Vice Cities. She was sitting there chasing people with bats and stuff in that game. I'm like, fam, like, my parents play the game. I'm pretty sure my dad, I feel like at some point in time, if he hasn't, I know at some point in time, he is going to probably play Grand Theft Auto. Big into violent games, make people violence. Yeah, my mom, my parents, they were, they always told me that when I play games, they was like, you can't do that stuff in real life. So I was like, I played it, but yeah, I did. They just was always in my ear telling me, like, you know, you can't do that stuff in real life, especially when I did play games like Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, my mom, she was like, my mom was big on that. My dad was big on that. But yeah, me and my sister, we were still playing those games. My sister, she more so had played The Sims, so she never really, I was the one that more so had got into like the crazy games and stuff. My sister, on the other hand, she played The Sims. My dad played Legend of Zelda. My mom, she played anything Mario related. But yeah, it's like, the thing is this though, it's like if both my parents play video games, it's like, fam. It's funny though when people, they be like in GameStops. It was more so GameStops. Target, Best Buy, none of them other places carried on like that. You go in there and get rated M game for your kid. They're all like, oh, here you go. Buying games, digital game of thing. That's when I was able to play it. Wow. Exactly, yeah. But yeah, GameStops, they were always doing some stuff like that. It's like, hey, so this game, it got, you know, drug, sex, violence. You can shoot a cop. They actually have a whole mission designed on you torturing somebody. What are some other things Grand Theft Auto done did? Oh, they got strip clubs and all this other stuff. And it's like, fam, why are you telling my parents that? Like, why do you need to tell them that information? It's like, I'm not even playing the game for those things. I'm playing it to just get through the missions and just see what the story is about. Because I like the story. GameStop's employees, they'll just make up some stuff. There's like, oh yeah, there's one mission where your character, he punts a baby across a football field. I'm like, what mission involves that? I'm like, you know, we gonna play this game right now. I need to see that. GameStop employees, I'm like, man, if you guys don't like your job, don't even work here. They don't really be doing that now, though. I just think that was just the GameStop's employees back in the day. I was like, bro, y'all got some, like, freaking weird stuff going on. Like, if, like, Target and Best Buy and them places did it where you can trade in games, I went there. But GameStop's, it's like, you know, you got, like, 100 games and you try and get a game, and it's like, all right, I guess I'll trade in, like, 5 games or something. Go up there, get the game for free pretty much. I know the day I have kids and I go into a GameStop's getting the game, like they like it probably would be Grand Theft Auto 7 or something. GameStop's employees are like, oh yeah, this game got. I'm like, yeah, I played the games when I was a kid. I already know what the game's about, and I already know my kid just trying to play the game for the stories. I ain't hearing all that, bruh. It's like, just go ahead, take this. Game's gonna probably be like $80 by then. I'm like, go ahead, take this 80. Let me get this game for my kid. I ain't got time for all that. I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to play the game myself. Telling horror stories about it's like working at GameStop's growing up. It's like GameStop be a fun job. It seems like you working around video games, and it's like as a kid, that is the dream job. And then as you get older, then you're like, oh wow. Like I heard some stuff from GameStop's employees. One of my friends, he used to work at GameStop's, and I would crack jokes about them all the time, and he never would like get on me about any of the jokes that I would crack, cause he probably was like, nope, he ain't lying. Wait, where am I going? Okay, I'm going this way. But yeah, GameStop's, I was like, man, y'all be on some weird stuff at times. I know I'll never forget when I heard they would throw away old games, like games that didn't do well. They'll throw them away. So there's probably like all these games that very well, like, you could have just given the games out for free too. I'm pretty sure if GameStop's would have been like, hey, do you want these games for free? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. But yeah, there was a store somewhere that they were just throwing away games. I'm like, man, GameStop, you guys, y'all don't even make no sense. There you go. All right. That was funny. People on whatchamacallit, Twitter, they were telling me, oh, nobody don't play Destiny 1. Destiny 1 was not a good game. It wasn't better than Destiny 2. Meanwhile, you got people actually sitting down playing this game. That thing is barely doing anything. There we go. Sorry, back up, sir. Thank you. Reason GameStop be so aggressive about you becoming the rewards powers because higher ups would trip if they didn't have enough reward members. One dude says he felt so weird begging people to join the rewards program, but he had to do it so he wouldn't lose his job. And looking at it now, it makes sense why they would beg you to do certain things. And if that would happen in gaming, no, they still be they have it where you get them in the mail now, or not in the mail, but your email. They still be doing that Game Informer stuff, because I know the times when I've signed up, they're like, oh yeah, it just goes to your email now. But yeah, them dudes would trip over them power up rewards cards. I remember that one guy, I was in there trying to get Saints Row 3, and that guy was all like, oh, well, you could just come back up here later and get the game. And then I'm like, fam, I only have enough money for the game. I ain't come up here for no card. I can't play no card. I play a game. It's called GameStops. It ain't called GameStop Card Stop. I'm like, no, bruh. I'm like, I ain't come up here for no card. It's like, what kid you know that is like a middle-aged teenager that you know come up here for a GameStop's card? I'm like, bro, I'm not here for all that. I'm like, just give me my game. This dude was so pressed over me not getting that card. And I'm like, sir, you got issues, all right? It's like, you got legitimate issues, because that don't make no sense to be getting mad over no stuff like that. It's like, what are some other things? But yeah, I was like, that guy, he was crazy. I was like, man, gonna get mad at me, then slam my game on the counter. I'm like, bro, something like that would have happened now. I was like, yeah, I probably would have got banned from that GameStop store. But I'm like, you know, I'm a kid, so I don't know no better. But yeah, I'm like, sir, I was like, don't play with me. Don't let this be something that it shouldn't be. Gamefly. Yeah, did I just mention Gamefly not too long ago? Well, it was like the subscription services. I felt like I said Gamefly. Dang, I keep forgetting about getting the bounties in this game. Blockbuster Days 2. Yeah. Yeah, Blockbusters, Gamefly. What else did they have back then? Blockbusters, they messed up, though. I'll never forget hearing that story where they was like, Netflix had approached them and was like, hey, we want to do like a online service thing, you know, with you guys. And they said Blockbusters, like, laughed them up out of their headquarters. Now look, now it's like you got Blockbusters like making jokes and stuff on Twitter, and I'm like, bro, you guys, y'all could have probably been the biggest company in the world right now. I was like, Blockbusters, I'm like, they really fumbled with that. Dang, that was just a one shot with him. Friend was saying not too long back in the day, he go to Blockbusters. After you scratch up one of their games, you return the messed up version of the game, keep the version. That's crazy. Yeah, people, I'm pretty sure, yeah, people, they were doing stuff like that all the time. I'm pretty sure there's probably people still to this day got some Blockbuster movies sitting somewhere in their closet or cabinet. Start cleaning up their house, and then they're all like, oh, dang, that's where that Blockbuster movie went. I was like, man, that place has been down for, or closed down for how many years? use GameFly. I just remember commercials, hearing people talk about. Yeah, I remember the commercials. That was the only time when I heard about it. Other than that, I was like, cause no, my parents, they would go over the Blockbusters, and they had games in there too. So I was like, that's how I was playing some games. I think I remember the 2 games that I did get from Blockbusters when they was around was Destroy All Humans, and I think it was Tony Hawk Underground 2. Dang, it's like, man, if I ever find like a store out here in Washington or just anywhere that sells retro games, bro, I'm definitely getting the Tony Hawk games. What are some other games? There's a lot of games I'm going to get. Midnight Club. I was like, they're the freaking, I'd do anything to just be able to get those games back. Especially the Tony Hawk games. I'm like, bro, Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2, there's no way possible there's anything, any skateboarding game topping those 2 games. Retro games online suck. They jack those prices up. So much shit. Yeah, there was the one game. Luckily I found it on Amazon. Like they had it on there for like maybe I think what was it, $50 I think. And yeah, somebody was somebody was trying to sell the PC version of that same game for like $300. And I'm like, I'm not spending $300 for a game where I guarantee and I promise you, if the GameStops would have been selling retro games and that game would have been in there, that game probably would have been $5 the most. It was not no $300 game. And I was like, people are crazy when they be trying to resell stuff. I was like, that's why I'm like, sometimes with the reselling things, I don't know. I'm like, sometimes it's like, okay, if it's only a few dollars more than the OG price, because it'd be like that with sneakers. People be up on there trying to resell some sneakers for a certain amount of price. I'm like, man, ain't nobody buying no sneakers for no $15,000. I'm like, them are $200 sneakers the most. I remember they were doing that with the Xboxes, talking about people on in my comments talking about supply and demand. I'm like, first off, you ain't even supplying me with what I'm paying for. $700 for an Xbox is crazy. I'm like, I don't care who you are. I'm like, fam, you better be Barack Obama if I'm paying that much money for an Xbox and that thing's $400 or $500. But I'm like, there is no Xbox in this world worth no $700. Crazy is I know someone got an Xbox Series X when people was buying it for $1,000. He found someone on eBay sold theirs for $400. Dang. As I first came out, I remember people would sell it for $1,000. Exactly. Yeah, I remember going on those reselling websites and people was doing that, and I'm thinking to myself like, I'm like, luckily I was able to get mines on the Walmart website. But yeah, I was like, I'm not spending that much on no Xbox. I was like, it better be a bundle where I'm getting a gang of games or something. But if that's not happening, then I'm like, I'm not doing it. And people was really getting pressed over on YouTube over it. When I made a video, I was like, people need to stop doing that crap. And there's like supply and demand. I was like, and I know, I'm like I said, you're not supplying me with nothing. I was like $1,000 for an Xbox. I'm like, I better get a few games, a few headsets, a few controllers. Because if we do the math, that math ain't mathing up. So that's why I'm like, I'm not going and spending no $1,000. Or I remember I was more so seeing them for like 700. But yeah, I was like, I'm not spending over retail for no Xbox, and I'm not getting nothing else in return. I'm just getting the Xbox. No, that's not happening. So therefore, y'all ain't demanding nothing out my pockets. It's like, yeah, people, they were crazy with that stuff. I'm like, that's what you gotta ask. I'm like, oh, you saying that you spend $1,000 on an Xbox? Because if you ain't trying to spend no $1,000 on an Xbox, I'm not trying to spend $1,000 on no Xbox. Oh, I remember this mission. It's like, bro, what you doing? Did I kill him? There we go. What's crazy is how limited the Xbox was at first. Yeah, resellers talking all the Xbox locally. I was every pre-order. Yeah, I remember I got mines on the Walmart website. I went up to Walmart because I knew it was gonna be coming out. So I went on the website, and then there was like, oh yeah, stores opening up. I think at like 7. So I go up there like maybe 5 minutes before it opens up. Guys are like, oh, it's gonna be an online only thing. Dang. So go back home, wait until 9 o'clock, which is when he said that Xbox is gonna be available. And yeah, I just started rapid clicking on my computer. I was like, ain't no way I'm missing out on this. Then I remember when the PlayStation 5s, when they came out and how fast, I think I might have been the only one that did get an Xbox, because I was like, them Xboxes, they sold out fast. I remember it was like right after I had bought mine, then that's when they was all like, we're sold out. So either I bought the only one at that store, or yeah, it was just probably on, or a bunch of people, they just bought theirs up before them resellers got to it. But that's probably what it was, and resellers got to it too. It's like resellers got to make their money. Like, why? I don't know. It's like, guys, go out and get a job. You trying to make money that bad, but it's funny, a lot of them resellers, they probably up on there like, oh, dang. Like, I still got this Xbox listed on there. Ain't nobody trying to buy no Xbox for no $4,000. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead, call it with this stream. Find somebody to raid. Alright, I think I'm right out to wait till this ad's done playing. Boom, right out to my friend Ama. Make sure y'all go follow Ama, show her some love and support. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you everybody that stopped by tonight's stream. Stay tuned for the next stream, and peace.